All watercolorists know, and beginners especially, how frustrating it is when your watercolor is just a little bit but not good enough. And I'll tell you one reason, and I'll teach you one simple thing that will make it a lot better. This little thing will help you understand how to fix your watercolors, and that is paint consistency. You have to understand paint consistency and how to use it painting watercolor. As you know, we make watercolors in layers, we do washes, and paint consistency is crucial for making different layers and understanding which consistency of paint should be applied to different layers. Paint consistency is how much water you add to your paint. There are 5 paint consistency types that all depend on how much water you use with your paint. It's all about the ratio of pigment to water. And the names of the types are tea, coffee, milk, cream, and butter. And in just a little bit, I'll show you an example how I painted a beautiful evening sky, a cityscape, using different consistencies. So before you go any further in your watercolor journey, stop and get used to using different paint consistencies for different values. Now on to how to use the paint consistency types. As you know, we paint watercolors in layers, and usually the first layer is the thinnest, and it's usually the sky. Like in here, the sky was made with mostly coffee consistency because it's quite dark. It's the kind of evening sky. But in here, this is probably closer to tea. There's a lot of water, and I didn't use too much pigment in this area here, right? Even this yellow part behind the light poles is probably tea consistency. But the rest, in here, these parts are coffee consistency. That's your thin wash, that's your lightest value. And then going down to the bridge in these dark values, of course I used a lot more pigment and a bit less water. So darker values, more pigment. In here too, I used a lot more pigment for this area here, and also here. This is quite darker than these parts of orange, right? Orange and red, look at this. This is quite dark. And if you compare the yellow in here, this is actually paste. So the trees here were made with probably butter, and the poles over here, and you see the dry brushing technique, and the poles here, the wires, the dry brush. This is basically butter or paste consistency. And these darks were butter or paste, especially these kind of parts where there's the highest contrast. So this is pretty much how we do it. I always keep in mind that the first wash is thin, and I usually take it all the way down. Even the dark parts here I would sometimes do with one big wash all over the page, all over the paper. So I'll drag these colors here and then just use the same colors that I see here with lighter values. I'll pull them down all the way, but then I let it dry and I use thicker paint, less water, and so on. And for the details we go with paste or butter. have fun. So if you like watercolor like I do, and you enjoy the process, you love the different effects of the water and how the paint blends and different techniques, I hope you join me on my watercolor journey. And I just want to let you know that if I can create some nice watercolor paintings, then you can do it too. And this is why you are amazing. Have a good one.